Hey, this is Jamie from Green River Ordnance. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thanks for checking out this archived episode of the Ticket Stub. Connor here, one of the hosts of the show. I'm doing this while Dick is away. Guys, I know that y'all love the show, but I know that he is the worst part. I'm trying to find another co-host, so if any of y'all have any ideas, please let me know. But in the meantime, go ahead and subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, all at the Ticket Stub Podcast. You can send us an email at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook at The Ticket Stub. And be sure to listen live every Thursday on irlonestar.com or FM 104.5 and 106.1 in the Conroe area. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Ticket Stub. That's right, here on Lone Star Community Radio every Thursday at noon. A new intro for me. This is Dick Schisler, your co-host. My other co-host, Connor, is out today. So filling in for us will be Holly Mitchell, my girlfriend, who's pretty great. And we talked about her before on the show before. So she decided to join me because I was flying solo. Just to give you a heads up, Connor will be returning next Thursday live here. And so we're going to be moving on. Holly, you can say hi. You don't have to just look at me. Hi.
Y'all are stuck with me today.
No, I know. And then we got Jaden on the board with us, so he's doing everything. He's screwing up. We all just stare at him. Just to let everybody know, if you're a first-time listener, we are the Ticket Stub. We cover movies, and we have a podcast on Google Play and also iTunes. And then you can watch us on YouTube and Channel 12 on Suddenlink in the Conroe area. And we're also live, so on the internet, and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you want to get in touch with the show, best way to do it is through Facebook, The Ticket Stub Podcast, or email us at theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, man, it has been an interesting week. Happy 4th, everybody. I hope everyone was safe and got to watch some, patriotic movies, I guess. I didn't really see a lot of patriotic movies besides Patriot Games with Harrison Ford. But that's
they play Independence Day?
Do they play it?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Is it really think so? Do you think that speech that, is it not Ron Pullman, I don't know what his name is, but he gives that speech. I saw that. We talked about the sequel on the last podcast, and that movie was very disappointing. But yeah, it's just with us today, and we're going to be covering some movies I saw over the week. I know Connor, like I said, isn't here, and we're going to be he texted me a bunch of stuff that he wanted to let you guys know what's going on. And then, of course, we have our summer blockbuster wrap-up at the end of the show, see how the new movies that came out last Friday, how they did, and how they compare to the other summer blockbusters we have. The big movie coming out this weekend is going to be Spider-Man. And just to let people know, because I know everyone cares about this Marvel universe, so this is what I love, is how many Marvel movies there have been now. I think it's been around for like 10 years, 15 years.
There's a lot.
Well, with Spider-Man coming out, one of the Marvel producers has basically said that the Avengers 4 is going to be the 22 movie arc, and it's going to end it. And the new Marvel universe is going to start with Spider-Man Homecoming. So we're getting the all new storyline and stuff starting with.
Is this the one with Andrew Garfield?
No, that's the other reboot. It's going to be one of those confusing conversations with you, Holly, because you're not keeping up with.
I just know that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone broke up.
Well, cool. So you're like the TMZ version of the Ticket Stub Podcast. That's great.
Absolutely.
But no, just to let you guys know, I think this movie, Spider-Man, is going to be pretty good. I think it has a good chance of beating out Guardians of the Galaxy, who's the number one at the box office. But we'll get more to that towards the end of the program. I know Holly. Let's get to know Holly a little bit better. She has been my girlfriend for 2 years, and what would you say, Holly, is your top genre of movie?
Oh, picking a genre is kind of hard. I have like a variety of movies.
Let's reverse it. What genre do you not like?
What do I not like? I think I like everything, actually.
Okay, well, you're a great interview person.
No, it's what you won't let me watch, and so I think I try to watch.
Why don't we'll save all the animosity you have towards me when it comes to movies, because I will say I'm a horrible person to watch movies with.
You
especially
are.
when I always look at it as time. Like, why would I want to spend my time watching this C+ movie where if it doesn't involve Nicolas Cage in it? So that's
Vampire Kiss.
So Vampire Kiss was
that's
definitely
probably one
worth
of the best
my
things
time.
you've ever watched.
Ever showed you? Yeah.
I encourage everyone to watch that movie.
That's
It'll
definitely,
change you.
You know what's funny is that movie, Vampire Kiss, if you look at the timeline of Nicolas Cage, I think that movie came out after he won the Oscar for Raising Arizona. So
he deserves an Oscar for Vampire Kiss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he
ate a bird.
He did. He did.
Like
eat
Ozzy
a bird,
Osbourne.
and he talked to a wall for a bit. And yeah, and he
walked around the street hunched over with a piece of plywood.
He had to start yelling, doing the Nicolas Cage thing. He should Holly. Let's just go into that. It's only 12:06. Holly, tell more about you, so people know what kind of person you are when it comes to watching movies. Because you like Lifetime movies, right? Like that would be your go-to.
Well, I think they're funny to watch.
Okay. Well, they really are. I mean,
they're horrible, but they're fun to watch. I kind of grew up with my mom watching them all the time, so just kind of naturally became my thing. But I mean,
they have enough Lifetime movies that they have their own streaming service.
I like
of all their movies. That's how many.
I like classic. I like cult movies. I like comedy.
What do you mean cult movies?
Animal House.
Okay, so they weren't really big movies, and then they became cult favorites among the people. Okay.
Yeah, my sister kind of got me into that. Requiem for a Dream. I know that's really intense. Love that movie.
Was that because you're a nurse? You like that kind of stuff?
No, my sister started getting me in that movie. I think I was like 14.
Is that when you were doing the hard drugs?
No.
Because if you didn't know, I rescued Holly from a halfway house, and I'm making that.
You wish.
No, actually, I don't wish that. I appreciate that we met the old-fashioned way through people, but you didn't catfish me, which is nice. But
did you try that before with people?
Did I try to catfish people?
No, have people catfished you?
No, I don't think I'd ever want. Oh, never mind. I take that back. Like, I don't really go back and meet people online and go do stuff with them. I
think the one time you did that was for a show, right?
I did that. No, I did that for playing soccer because I was new to the area. I wanted to play soccer.
Oh, okay.
So it worked out actually. But so do and don't. Don't do it for love, but do it for fun. How about that? So when I say fun, not like, slutting yourself around. I mean more of like, if you want to go play soccer, it's a good idea to meet a lot of people instead of just one person.
Yeah, I agree.
But so your movies, you said Requiem for a Dream. You do like anime movies, I know that.
Yes.
You hate movies I like. I know that.
Certain ones. I mean, like, what's Steven Seagal? Is that his name?
That's one of the names that many people call him.
he is just annoying to me.
You didn't like Hard to Kill?
That movie was...
That movie is like, that is the pinnacle of his career.
I'm not going to say the bad word because we're on the radio, but he's such a man, you know what? Like, he's just objectifies women. He's so nasty.
Oh,
he's gross.
Well, like I said, the thing I love about him is you learn a lot about a director because he basically directs all his stuff. Yeah. But he's not on the title as a director. But he's the one that's like, I should get the girl. I should come over here and touch her and all this stuff. Like, it really is the most bizarre direction his movies he's in. It makes no sense, but it only benefits him. It's almost like that thing where they go, I can't be beat up in any movie I'm in. I can totally see him having that role. Like, no one's even allowed to punch me, which makes the movies even better.
He's exhausting. So, no, I can handle one every now and then, but not on the reg.
Oh, not on the reg. But,
not on the reg.
But what movies have you seen recently that you like?
Recently? It's like I watch all of my movies with you, so you should know. But
that's true. Well, you do watch the movies that you always tell me that you've liked. I've never been in a scenario where I'd ever watch them.
Rain Man? Or like Forrest
Gump, like you go, hey, I watched this movie or a documentary, and I'm like, I would never ever watch that, and then you make me watch it next time we have like a free 2 hours, like while we're making dinner.
I know you won't watch horror movies, like The Shining.
No, I will not watch horror movies. No way. But no, Shining's actually, it's not really a horror movie. It is probably, but
it is. It's
supernatural, so I kind of got that. Like I watch Aliens.
Jack Nicholson at his best. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a quick break. You're listening to Ticket Stub. I'm hanging out with Holly. When we come back, we're gonna talk about some movies I watched. I watched Moana, what is it, Moana?
It's Moana. You said it correctly.
There you go. I watched Moana. And then I watched Star Trek Beyond, and then, of course, the 1997 classic Spawn. We'll be right back on The Ticket Stub. I'm hanging out with Holly Mitchell. We're on Facebook, The Ticket Stub Podcast. Again, if you're just not tuning in, Connor's not here. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend, and we're going to have some fun. So we'll be right back.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
All right, we are back with the Ticket Stub Podcast. Not a drill, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
This is not a drill.
We are here every Thursday at noon. My co-host Connor is out, so right now we have the lovely Holly in the studio. My BFF.
For life.
But yeah, so welcome back. We're talking movies, and we're in this segment. We're going to be covering movies we've seen this week, and I got a couple under my belt. I'm going to start out with Star Trek Beyond. It was made in 2016. I'm a huge Star Trek fan TV-wise. I hate the new movies, so it's going to be a very biased segment right here, because this one actually was the only one that I've liked so far out of the last three.
I have to say, because of you, I have a lot of respect for Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek, the TV show, is 10 times better than this filth they've been putting out.
And
with
for all of you
Abrams.
Law and Order SVU fans out there, if you like that kind of show, where every episode is different, you just don't know what you're going to get, you should watch Star Trek.
Okay, they dubbed them Monsters of the Week kind of episode.
Yeah.
But this movie, like I said, 2016, directed by Justin Lin, who did all of the cool Fast and the Furious movies, I guess, starting with Tokyo Drift. It has a normal cast in it. The movie itself had a really, it was fun. It kept going. But like I said, in the movie-wise, it'd be a good TV show, which it already is. So
Yeah.
Outside that, I just didn't really...
They shouldn't have done it.
Well, the whole purpose of Star Trek was the Final Frontier kind of thing, and they kind of did a little bit of it, but then they did this one more than the other ones, because the other ones more what it was is like the original mission of the Enterprise was to go explore space, but then in the movies they're like, oh, we're not going to do that. We need you to go. For some reason, you're the only people that can handle these situations, so you need to go handle them. And the Enterprise was never like that. The Enterprise was more like, we're always going to be exploring, and sometimes they'd be put on routine missions, but it's...
Yeah.
You had a lot more time to tell it because you had a TV
I guess they
show.
did that just because it was a movie.
Well, I think it's an IP that people really will go to. So what's funny is you watch these new movies. There's 3 of them total right now. I think there's a 4th one coming out because a couple of them have signed on for the 4th one. Watch those movies and then watch the older Star Trek movies and see if there's a similarity or a difference. Because one thing that's really focused on Star Trek are the relationships between the crew. And that's what I always loved about Star Trek, about that, because you always wonder what this character, Picard or Kirk, or what are they going to do in this scenario? And then there's always the ethical questions and
So they didn't touch on that in
moral
the movie?
questions. You didn't really see them who Captain Kirk was.
No.
It was really weird. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. That's the way I felt about it. Maybe because I've been ruined since I watched the TV show so much.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing what I want to see.
It's like those people that read the books and they go and watch
and they
movies.
nitpick
it's
this
just,
stuff.
Yeah, it's like they totally missed it.
Because they did what I liked about this one was they did kind of touch on the randomness and what they encounter and how does the Federation handle situations like this. But again, this was like a good TV show to me.
Right.
The movie itself was, it was okay. But if you like Star Trek, don't watch this. Watch the TV show again. How about that? Spend the time watching it again. Not the new TV, not the new Star Trek. So yeah, but good job, Justin Lin. I hope you made a lot of money. He's a good director, so I did like having him doing well. And I think his next movie's coming out. He's been involved with so many great crappy movies. He's doing Space Jam 2, which is going to be...
When does that come out?
It's just been announced, so there hasn't been really anything. But he's directed, the Hot Wheels movie. Come on. And then SWAT. If you've never seen SWAT before, they're coming out with the TV.
Question, Space Jam 2, are they going to have Michael Jordan in it?
Oh, I bet they're going to have LeBron James. I think that's not my area. Sports movies are not my area.
I was a
that's
child
more
of
Connor.
the 90s, though.
So, what? Actually, you've seen Space Jam.
Yes.
What made Space Jam great?
Michael Jordan.
That's what you think made Space Jam great.
Yes.
It wasn't R. Kelly. You don't think they had like the combo of like the good single track song track, and then
isn't that where I Believe I Can Fly?
Yeah, that's where the.
Oh man,
I mean, that was
that R. Kelly too.
I don't know
That
if
was
it was
before.
made for
Wasn't
the
that
movie,
before
but-
R. Kelly was creepy R. Kelly?
I think R. Kelly's always been creepy R. Kelly. Just no one knew about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, Space Jam 2. I think it is LeBron James. Let me look at this. This actually got me interested. Because, yeah, LeBron James. And he's starring as LeBron James. So, yeah, you can get the mic, man. Jaden, you're on the mic. But, so that's going to be interesting. The next movie I saw that, again, I mean, I just shouldn't watch normal movies. Like Moana, I do enjoy Disney movies. Is it Moana? What did I say?
Moana.
Moana. Okay.
It's Moana.
Moana.
What did I say?
Moana.
But this is what you're saying.
No, I said Moana.
It's Moana.
Moana.
Moana. All
Not
right.
Moana.
So I saw that movie. It stars. It's a CGI film, and it's an animated film. The Rock is in it, and other people that you might know. And the thing I don't understand, I wish somebody would answer this to me. If someone's seen this movie, why did they stop singing? In like probably half of the movie, they had a couple really fun songs.
You're thinking back to Disney in the.
Well, no, that's how it started.
Back in the day, where it was just consistent songs.
It was like a musical. It was a musical animated
that's the Disney
movie.
you and I grew up with.
Well, they still make those.
Yeah.
They still Frozen.
Well, I guess they had
is
a
a big
different
movie,
vision.
and that's
Are all
music.
Disney movies like musicals?
No,
Just
No.
but
But
like
Toy
it was
Story
like
a
wasn't.
handful are.
Toy Story
yeah,
wasn't.
Toy Story wasn't.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like this movie opened with a bunch of like they sang songs, and it was to drive the plot.
You thought it would
So-
be more like Pocahontas. More songs.
Well,
You know
no,
how that
well,
was
when you
one
have
that
a song,
had more songs.
Disney uses these songs to tell the story
Yeah.
about. They don't want to go through the whole backstory with you, so they'll do a song about it.
Same with Mulan.
And so they started this with this movie, and like I want to say halfway or 3/4 of the way through, they just stopped, and it was really strange to me because I was like, "Well, is this not a musical anymore?" And they even made a joke about, "Oh, are you going to break into a song?" And he goes, "No," and they didn't. And then I think actually that's when they stopped singing. So maybe that was the kind of the hint I didn't get, the direct joke. We're not
Sounds
singing
like it.
anymore in this movie, but
Maybe they wanted to try both styles and put it in one movie, but it just didn't flow together, you know?
well, it flew for the first half of the movie.
Yeah, and then they just stopped and
So.
decided we're done with this.
I think someone got fired, and then they're like, "We're not going to do this anymore." But overall, the movie itself, the message of the movie is basically when you're supposed to be the leader of the people, you abandon them, and you try to do the other way to think to help your people. So, yeah, she abandons. She's like the incumbent queen of these people, and she leaves them. So for the entire movie of her on her journey, her self-exploration and trying to save her people are dying and waiting for her. So, and she comes back, you need to, I'm just kidding. You're looking at me like, oh my.
What?
No, it's true. Like, it was really weird. At the beginning of the movie, the dad's like, the whole song is dedicated to her learning to be the leader. This is
Okay.
what you need to do for the people. You need to be here. And
So
the whole
it's kind
time,
of like girl power.
yeah, and the whole
movie.
time she
Yeah.
keeps looking at the ocean like, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. But clearly she doesn't want to take responsibility of what she's inheriting is taking care of the people.
Well, she wants to go into the ocean?
She just wants to go out. Because
Oh,
again, the
okay. I was like, she's a
storyline,
human. I don't
in the
know if that's a
storyline,
good
they're
idea.
not allowed to leave the reef. That's like a rule. And she wants to leave the reef area of the island.
Oh, okay.
And she does.
Okay.
And luckily she saves the day because, I mean, if she died, all those people would be dead.
I mean, she's a little girl, so
So.
that's intense.
But yeah, I like that. At the beginning, I was like, man, this girl just doesn't want to help people. And then she does by her own selfish means. And luckily for her, she won, she did it in the end.
Okay.
So that movie,
Interesting.
it was probably on the lower end of the Disney movie spectrum.
Toy Story is always will forever be the greatest Disney movie.
Really? You
Yeah.
can't
The
really
first
say
one.
that.
Disney,
when
well,
Disney
animation
shuts its
wise.
doors, then you can probably say that. But they're still going to make movies.
I don't think anything can dethrone Toy Story for me.
For you.
Cinderella,
Well, that's how Disney movies work.
Yeah.
Beauty and
So-
the Beast, things like that. No way. Can't top it.
Well, do you think there are these subjects, like in Moana, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moana, what was interesting is the two things you learn is the Rock's character learns responsibility because he's the one that started all like the domino effect of the whole storyline. He stole something from he stole the heart of the island or heart of Tafiti. I think that's how you pronounce the name. But and so everything goes downhill. Like everything, like the darkness is here, and all this kind of stuff, and he learns to take responsibility for what his actions are.
So he screws everything up? It's his fault?
It's his fault.
Why doesn't he fix it?
That's his overcoming.
Make the little girl do it.
The little girl is, if you're not going to fix it, I will. And they have constant fights about it. And, actually, that was what was really funny to me.
And how are they? Are they related?
No.
Okay.
No. What was really funny to me is the end, it was so anticlimactic, because all they had to do is return the stone. And what it turns out to be is this lava monster is actually the person whose heart's missing. That's why they turned into the lava monster at the end. He stole it, and she became a lava monster. And no one realizes till the end, and all it was is the girl holds it up and goes, "Here you go," and then everyone's okay with it.
Sounds like these people are making their lives a little bit more difficult than necessary.
Yeah. So that movie kind of blew. But yeah, and then we could talk about Spawn. Spawn's a really great
tell me about this movie. The name itself.
Well, why don't we?
It's crazy.
Let's add 5 more minutes because it's only 12:22. I'm talking too much, so you guys need to back me up.
I know.
Here.
That's why I'm just listening to you.
Well, Spawn is a movie came out in 1997. It's based off of a guy named McFarlane. I think it's McFarlane, or I might be saying that wrong, but it's a graphic novel.
Okay.
And it's about an elite mercenary that's killed, and he comes back from hell as a reluctant soldier for the devil. But he moonlights as a good guy. Like he's a good person, but he killed a bunch of people. So now he is the general of the devil's army who's coming up.
Okay, so maybe at heart he was good, but then he just murdered a lot of people.
Well, he murdered probably for the government.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually what's funny is the cast lineup. It's pretty great. John Leguizamo.
No idea.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Martin Sheen.
Okay.
Michael J. White, who plays Spawn, and D.B. Sweeney's in it, and we also have Melinda Clarke. You probably know Melinda Clarke by The O.C. Remember the show The O.C.? I know that you like that show. She plays one of the moms.
I actually never watched The O.C.
Oh, well, then I tried. I tried to involve you in this conversation, but it didn't work. But that movie itself, what's funny is that's one of the first comic book movies that came out in the late 90s, and it wasn't bad. The graphics were awful. Like, there's a couple scenes that were pure CGI, and it was just the actor jumping up and down in hell, and it looked so bad. It looked like early Lawnmower Man-ish graphics. So we talked about special effects a lot on the show. Special effects, not so good.
Yeah.
But
how much do you think their budget was?
I imagine. Let's check. I'm on the page right now. The budget was $40 million back in 1997. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
But overall, the movie was. I enjoyed it for its cheesiness.
Oh yeah.
And the plot itself really wasn't that good.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Well, I think that has to be one of the hardest things as a writer for a movie based off a comic, because the comics, they always have to have different plots. Like it's kind of like Monster of the Week. What's going on with Superman this episode? Mm-hmm. And it's hard to build something to make it interesting for the average viewer who's never seen it. So
I agree.
And Spawn, they kind of did half the movie is the backstory of Spawn, which is interesting, but then the rest of the movie is him trying to basically overcome being evil. And he didn't fight the devil in the end. He fights another demon, but I mean, it had one of those open-ended. They totally wanted to do a sequel at the end,
and they never did.
And of course, they never did.
So where can you see this?
Everyone gets a sequel nowadays.
Do you need to see this?
No. Where do you see this?
You watched it on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So but I think I saw it when it came out in theaters. I want to say I did, because Michael J. White, that was his first. He's a karate guy. He's in a bunch of karate movies today.
Was he in one with Steven Seagal?
Actually, he might have been. He became the Steven Seagal kind of replacement after Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like he's been in a lot of. He's in The Dark Knight. He's been Blood and Bone, like a bunch of just cheesy,
like Heath Ledger, Dark Knight. No,
that Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
He played one of the gangsters. But one thing I do want to say, he's in this movie that everyone needs to check out. It's an adult movie, so if you're over the age of 17, check it out. Okay, then I brought it up wrong. It's not like an adult movie, but it's called Black Dynamite, and it is kind of a homage to the early 70s karate movies, but he's Black Dynamite, and the jokes in it are great. The whole movie is really good. But we'll talk about that thing. But again, Spawn, if you want to watch it, I check it out. If you like comics, it's really cheesy. Martin Sheen plays this dude who's evil, and he has this excellent beard. that's like one of those beards that is only about a centimeter long, but it's all over the face. So it's like a perfect, it's like a marker.
Oh, it's
like someone took a
it's
black
perfectly
marker.
trimmed and everything.
And he plays the bad guy. He actually looks like Charlie Sheen. In some scenes, it creeps me out. The way they did his hair.
They've always looked alike. It's kind of creepy.
Did you watch the Hunger Games? That guy's beard, he had like arrow designs and everything.
Yeah, just
that
like that.
cool.
Like, and it was great. And John Ligu, I can't pronounce his last name. I can't believe you don't know who that is. But he plays the clown in the comics. If you've ever seen the fat clown, has the face paint. That's him. But yeah, I can't believe you've never seen. He's been in Moulin Rouge. You ever seen Moulin Rouge?
Yes.
He plays his friend. The main character is his friend.
Oh, okay.
He's a Hispanic fella.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And he's also in Romeo and Juliet. I think he plays Cassie. I don't know about that. I have to look through that. But we're going to be wrapping this up, this segment. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Holly about seeing movies with your girlfriend and dating movies and things like that. So that's like the meat of this whole episode. You're listening to the Ticket Stub. Thanks for letting me tell you about those movies. I know it wasn't very interesting, but I mean, no one was giving me anything to work with here. So you're listening to Ticket Stub. We're on Facebook, the Ticket Stub Podcast. We'll be right back after these messages.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
The things I do to you, Clark.
The things I do to you.
Clark,
I can't wait to see her in Game of Thrones.
Clark. Yeah, Ticket Stub Podcast, welcome back. That was my greatest impression of Me Before You. That's probably the #1 movie here on the Ticket Stub, so check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. But welcome back,
it's Richard's
everybody. This is
favorite person.
If you're just now joining us, this is Dick Schisler, the co-host. Connor is out of the studio today, but he'll be returning next Thursday.
So you got me.
So we have the #1 female stubby in the world is
Stubby
my girlfriend,
Nation.
is Holly. And we also have Jaden on the sticks. What do you want to call that? What's a cool nickname for the engineer booth?
The board.
The board.
Yeah,
He's on the
that
board.
sounds more official.
But we just got over talking about Space Jam, and then also the movies I saw like Spawn and Moana and
Richard stuff.
That was not very thrilling. Sorry about that. But now we're gonna get into the juicy stuff. I gotta get my girlfriend talking to me because this is a rare opportunity to get her on the air, and I really want to talk about going to see movies with girls. We talked about a couple episodes ago about seeing Me Before You. And I got in trouble because I remarked how pretty this girl's smile was.
No, there was. You want to know what you did?
Yeah, and then I also mentioned that her hair was nice. I like the way
you
she
looked at
braided
me and
her
you
hair.
said, "Long hair. Look at that. Her hair is so pretty. You need to get on that."
I said
long
that.
Hair.
I said those exact words.
Out loud?
To my face. And I'm growing my hair out from a pixie cut, and it's like been my thing.
How's that going? Do you put a picture of this? Who's the actress?
Amelia Clark.
Things I do to you, Clark.
Such a creepy line.
So would you take a picture of that and should I print it out and put it on your mirror?
You should just put it on my fridge and
And be like,
circle
"There you
it
go.
with the heart and say, "This needs to be
This
you."
needs to be you.
Yeah.
But but we watched that movie. We when we watch movies, I don't really like chick flicks too much. It's too easy to make fun of.
Well, you won't stop talking through them.
That's
like, you know
true.
how you talk now? Like, everyone listen to how Dick talks.
It's
and
too
this is
easy
how
to
he
make
is.
fun of.
He talks
I
the
wanted-
whole way through it. So
But if it's a good movie, or if I see it, I'll shut up. I'll be quiet the entire time.
I can't imagine sitting through The Notebook with you.
I can make fun of that movie all day. That movie is so. Can I tell you a funny story about this movie experience I had with this
Sure.
movie? So get this. This is gonna be a great conversation with you because it involves a girl. So there was this girl who I enjoyed in high school, and she's
You
a huge.
enjoyed her?
Well, I fancied her, and she was a huge Nicholas Sparks fan. And at the time, I forgot exactly what I was doing. I was helping out movie theaters doing something, doing critiques and things like that. So they
Yeah.
invited me to a special pre-screening of The Notebook.
Ooh.
And they gave me 4 tickets.
You were
and-
thrilled, weren't you?
Well, no. But I was like, perfect. I know exactly who I'm going to invite to this. I'm going to be such a baller. Well, I invite her, and I make the mistake of saying I have 2 extra tickets.
Oh, she brought her best friends, right?
She brought her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Because he liked Nicholas Sparks too. And so I invite my best friend, Charles, and we go see that movie. And it was so funny because I was like, this movie sucks. And that movie was really weird. It's funny is
it's creepy obsession and takes it to a new level.
What I love, it's similar to what we talked about prior to like the favorite female characters in movies. Like, for example, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Her character in that movie is such a selfish person, but for some reason, women attach to that. They're like,
Audrey Hepburn.
I want to be Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's. And
I think it's more of her style in the movie.
Why on earth?
She's just a timeless beauty.
Why on earth would you want to be that character?
I'm telling you, half of my friends that say they love that movie probably have never seen it.
Holly Golightly, that's the name of that character. And then another character similar to the female is Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. Yeah. Again, another character that's just a bad person.
Pretty selfish, yeah.
And I'm like, why do people, and they say the same thing about The Notebook. They want to be, what's her name? I don't even know her name.
There's a point in the movie where she actually goes into this house that he built, and they haven't seen each other in, 7 years or more? And there's a picture that she painted. And I just feel like if that were me, and it's been that long since I've seen somebody, and to see that they're obsessing over me still like that, that'd be kind of
just a painting? I mean, if someone painted me a picture that's not bad, I'm going to keep it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, the way, I don't know.
Well, it did bring us that lovely dialogue, what do you want? What do you want? Because that kind of gives you exactly what guys are thinking in relationships when it comes to that kind of girl. It's like...
That's like you with me every day, like with...
What do you want?
Want to eat for lunch or what I want to do later. Just be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, of course, see, that movie, we thought, man, that movie is just so bad. And, well, my favorite thing about it, too, is no one harps on Ryan Gosling's character for sleeping around.
Yeah, he introduced his fling to her.
Yeah, well, no, like, during the off periods, he's just going at it with other women, and, like, no one cares.
And he introduces her to the other girl, which I think is kind of...
Well, I mean, overall, it's stupid. Yeah. And then the ending's stupid. So... Yeah.
And then there was Me Before You.
So, date movies, what other date movies have we seen? What do you like in a date movie?
Well, here's the thing, is a lot of these movies, it's not that I feel like I really enjoy them, it's just kind of it's like eating junk food. You know, you shouldn't, but you do, and you kind of enjoy it, you're being bad or whatever, it's just kind of...
A guilty pleasure, you mean?
A guilty pleasure, yeah.
Okay, so what's your top favorite guilty pleasure movie?
I like The Devil Wears Prada. That was good.
Yeah,
I guess I mean, it's Anne Hathaway. Used to like The Princess Diaries, so I've always liked her.
That movie sucked too.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I watched The Bachelor, so.
That's true.
Oh gosh. Man.
Bachelor Nation, just saying.
I mean, when do you think you're going to quit that?
Never.
Even when you're like 40,
well, that's like, I think that's actually the main demographic.
You know that
for really? I really want to say that's the main demographic.
I don't know. A lot of teenagers watch it too. I don't know.
Bachelor Nation for life.
That'd be interesting to find out.
No, it wouldn't. No. So, Devil Wears Prada, what do you like about that movie?
I mean, it's just a kind of a, I wouldn't say gimmicky or cheesy.
You like The Notebook, though, right? You do like The Notebook.
I've seen it so many times, no.
So, hold on, why have you seen it so many times? Because you liked it so many times?
It's just an easy, cheesy go-to movie.
Like Titanic?
Oh, yeah.
Titanic's like 6 hours, though. I mean, everyone's seen the end.
I'm just going to say this right now. Jack could have fit on that door. He didn't have to die.
Oh, yeah.
They've proven it. Like, they could have both laid down on that door.
The theory is he knew he didn't like her, so that was the easiest way out.
I mean, and then she, like, lets his body go down. So, I don't know. You know, I saw that movie in theaters with my mom in 97.
And again, that movie's stupid, too, because she keeps that diamond. And, like, why on earth would you keep that? Like, you need to give that to your family.
And then throws it into the sea. I know.
Like, yeah. That's got to be worth a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
At least a couple, right?
Probably. Well, they were saying that it's like, it was one of the most invaluable.
And can you imagine if the Titanic actually docked and some dude gets in that car that they did their nasty stuff in and be like, what is all this stuff in my car? I mean, that movie.
Well, it's funny because I remember seeing that moment, and you want to know what I honestly thought they were doing was hugging, and it was just really hot. 7-year-old Holly.
There you go. Man, and Billy Zane's in it. That's a great movie. That movie's so stupid.
I've never seen the beginning, but I've seen the end about like 10 times.
Yeah.
I only see the end whenever I catch it.
Well,
It's the best part.
But you like that kind of movie, Holly? You're not helping me here.
I like Clueless. I watched Bring It On the other day. That was a crazy movie.
Now, what was your favorite date movie? You ever gone on a date to the movie theaters?
P.S. I Love You was pretty intense.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy because the guy wrote her letters before he died, and she can't really move on. She's grieving, and he's trying to help her move on with his letters, but he's dead, so she can't really let go. So
She's handcuffed.
she's handcuffed.
Well,
To
what
her
happens
dead
if he just
husband.
doesn't read the letters? The movie's over?
Yeah, she could just grieve. But in her mind, the guy is still alive because here are all these letters that are timed over a year or so that he's giving to her, like telling her instructions of what to do. You know. No.
So you wouldn't like it if I did that?
No. I've worked in hospice before. I wouldn't encourage that. I think that you just need to go to counseling and try to grieve through the 12 stages of grief. I don't think reading letters that are like active from the dead
Yeah.
no. So, yeah, that movie was crazy.
Well, and this is so thrilling. Thank you for giving me your insights of your favorite movies. The questions I have for you now, I'm going to get into the meat
Those aren't my
stuff.
favorite movies.
Oh,
chick
chick
flicks
flicks.
aren't. Definitely not.
Yeah?
I mean, no.
Well, why do you think they make chick flicks?
I have friends like my best friend Ashley. She loves that stuff.
Yeah, she likes the 50 Shades of Grey and all that kind of
There's
stuff.
you own that now because of us.
Yeah, I know.
We accidentally bought 50 Shades of Grey on Dick's Amazon account thinking it was ours at home. And so I get a text and Dick's saying, why do I have this movie on here? So now it's in his collection.
Yeah,
But,
totally. Next to John Wick.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the back-to-back double feature night.
I think it's fun to watch chick flicks with your girlfriends. For me, that's not with your boyfriend, but with your girlfriends. To me, that's like the best time to watch it.
Well, because to me, what classifies a chick flick to you? Because, like, to me, Love Actually, that's not technically a chick flick. I don't know why, but I feel like chick flicks either have to have a conflict,
it's
like
kind of
someone's
like
dying.
No, I
And
feel
it's
like
really
a chick
sad.
flick is geared towards girls. It's kind of like this imaginary relationship you always wish you could have or something like that. Just super extreme romance to the next level. And it's like the life you secretly want or something like that.
That's what classifies as a chick flick.
Yeah. Well, a romance chick flick.
Because we watched...
Because there's comedy. Like Clueless is not one of those, but... Or Sex in the City. But...
Sex and the City, though, it's a movie. That is a movie, I guess.
Now it's a movie. They have a couple. Have you seen
I
them?
feel like chick flicks really
should watch
teach the
that.
wrong message. Most of them do.
Yeah, because they're not attainable. Nothing that happens in them is ever real.
Yeah, it's unrealistic to a point where it's funny. I feel like.
And so
Honestly,
that's
when
why
we
it's a
watch them,
guilty.
I
That's why
have
it's a
the
guilty
greatest
pleasure for
time.
girls.
Because we watched... I think the first movie we watched together was, like, How to Be Single. Wasn't that one of the first, like, chick flicks that we watched?
I guess. Yeah, you do protest watching those.
And then Hard to Kill. That was definitely a chick flick. I mean, come on.
What's the one I made you watch with all the inbred people that would chase after? I can't think of the name. That's probably one of my favorite movies that I've watched with you. It's supposed to be a scary movie.
Oh, Wrong Turn 4 or something like that. Yeah.
Everyone needs to watch Wrong Turn 4.
We
Best
definitely,
movie.
you know, it's
I've
funny.
never
I'm
laughed so
going
much
to
in my
share
life.
this with the audience. During the Christmas time, we definitely watched a lot of those cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies, which are fantastic. And what's funny to me is somebody has to make those. So it's like the bottom of the barrel. I wonder if everyone wants to be there. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
because they all have the same actors or actors and actresses in them. So like, it was Hilary Duff's sister is in like 7 of them.
Oh, they're Lifetime movie queens. Well, at least her sister is.
Is that what it is? They call them the queens and like.
No, but in my eyes, yeah, they're always in. I was watching Lifetime the other day, and Hilary Duff's sister's just there, and it's just there she is.
I mean, they pump those out so fast, and they're so bad.
Yeah, that's why they're wonderful to watch.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, like, what's that one we watched where the doctor was obsessed with his patient, and it was just out of control.
Yeah, they had Eric Roberts in it.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. That's what amazed me. He was in that movie.
Based on this conversation, maybe movies are meant to be bad so that people just enjoy them for being bad.
Well, that's one thing I'm trying to figure out.
I agree completely.
I mean,
same with chick flicks.
Yeah, I mean, that's the movies I enjoy.
Is that really all it takes now? Just a bad movie?
Corny. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can make fun of other movies, but
Think of the John Bonet Lifetime movie we watched.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we do watch some crappy movies.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward. I think we're going to go see Spider-Man though. How about that?
Okay.
And well, actually, right now you're listening to Ticket Stub. We're having this boring conversation with my girlfriend.
I'm such a boring person.
Yeah, she's
I'm
a little
no
nervous.
Connor.
And
No, I'm not. I'm a real stubby.
real stubby. But we're listening to Ticket Stub here every noon o'clock on Thursday. Lone Star Community Radio. We're going to take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to do the box office and what movies are coming out this week, along with, well, how am I going to convince my girlfriend to watch more Steven Seagal movies and
I've got to
Nicolas Cage
step it up,
movies.
y'all, or else I'm not going to be invited back.
Yeah, you've already definitely not being invited back. But we'll be right back. You're listening to Take a Step here on Lone Star Community Radio.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
All right, we are back on the Ticket Stub at 12:45.
Hi.
Hanging out with Holly Mitchell and me, Dick. My co-host Connor is out. He'll be back next Thursday. And then for the rest of the month, we're going to be covering our blockbuster stuff. This is the last segment, or depending on how long we go for. Just to let folks know, I think on the 27th, we're going to have the general manager from the Grand Theater be my special co-host. Chris Appel will be in the studio. He's been on previous podcasts, so check it out. We also have, I think we're having a special announcement with those guys, so it's going to be a lot of fun, so stick around for that. Make sure to subscribe to us if you're listening live on our podcast on Google Plus, or Google Play, and Google Plus, and then iTunes. We've been talking about chick flicks, all that kind of good stuff, how great they are, and it's like, well, you know what it comes down to? It's almost, when you go with a group of people, you go to the movie theater, no one's going to agree on the one movie they want to go see. And chick flicks are always the go-to for girls and guys to go see together. I don't think I've known any couple that hasn't gone through the motion of just accepting to going to see a chick flick. Like, you just have to do it.
I just feel bad
they can't agree on anything
for
else.
making a guy watch a chick flick with me, because I just, guys are usually miserable through them. So I'm going to stick with going with my friends to them.
Well, so, what? Actually, this is going to sound really sexist, and I've noticed this. In the past 5 years of chick flicks, it's gotten really bad on who wrote the movie and what, it's definitely a female wrote it, and it's completely unbelievable. And back in the day, A Walk to Remember,
that's what makes them awesome.
And those older chick flicks seem somewhat believable, 16 Candles.
Yeah,
that was somewhat believable. Now it's pure. It's almost like
it's a fantasy. Almost.
Well, it's like the 50 Shades of Grey stuff. What I told Holly after we watched those movies, it says it's almost like that when they gave the scripts to the people, the guy who played Christian read it as a psychopathic thriller, and the girl who played what was the girl's name in the movie? I just know Christian.
Anastasia.
Is it Anastasia? Whoever played Anastasia, she read it as a chick flick. Because she always played the dumb, I don't really know. And then he always played, I'm just going to stare at her for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to say it really sternly, and then I'm going to stare more. And it made, every time I was watching the show, I was just like, man, he just wants to kill her. And she's just playing the chick flick role.
Well, they made that whole, she wrote that book, the author did, for women, in the sense, men, when you think of adult movies and things like that.
When you say adult movies, you're talking about the adult movies I said earlier, or are you talking about the XXX?
I'm talking the XXX. This is basically the XXX for women.
But it wasn't. I mean, the book might have been, but
because
the movie
guys
was
have
very
their eyes
disappointing
and they're visually stimulated. Women are pretty stimulated by their emotions.
Is that why you're saying that? Are you a psychiatrist?
No, I'm a woman.
So clearly, I'm visual. I'm over here talking about haircuts and smiles, and apparently it's bad.
And with chick flicks and things like that, with girls, it's all about feelings. Did your mind just explode right now?
No, people are writing in on our Facebook, so I'm trying to compute that. And
am I right, ladies?
thank you for writing in. I just want to say thanks to those folks. They're letting us know.
What are they saying?
They're letting me know that Beyond is the movie, but they saw Star Trek, the TV show, before, so they agreed. I think they agreed. They didn't say they agree or not. Hey, if you're going to write in, why don't you say you agree or not, all right? But shit, man, I can't get over watching half of these movies. Like watching that 50 Shades of Grey and then watching Me Before You. I loved watching that with you because you do have somewhat of a medical background.
Somewhat. I'm a nurse.
Yeah,
I've got some.
So it's funny
and
to
a cousin
see.
that's a quadriplegic with 2 kids and a wife and a great life.
You had a real introspect to that movie, and to let folks know, we talk about that movie all the time just because how ridiculous it is. And you need to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. I still can't get over it. I still can't get over it.
I feel like my feelings are hurt after that movie.
Yeah. I mean, and it made a lot of money, too. That's what's amazing to
because
me.
of the
book, probably.
Well, Amelia Clark. I mean, everybody, for all my throners out there,
Throner?
That's our Khaleesi.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's why I said she had a nice smile, because she never smiles in that show.
She does, too.
She's like an evil witch in that movie, right? In the show?
No. She's the Dragon Queen. Hello.
Oh, I was so far off on that one.
She's a Targaryen.
Oh, man, you really are into that stuff.
Yes, I am.
But this weekend...
Jon Snow is still alive.
So we still got some things to cover for the weekend. Like I said, Spider-Man Homecoming's coming out. The biggest box office summer blockbuster so far has been, I believe it's been Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they're somewhere around like 80 million the first weekend, which is pretty good. Or maybe 120 million. I don't know. I don't know. But I think Spider-Man has a good chance of beating that. Or is anyone else going to go see that movie?
No.
Probably when it's out of theaters, they'll just stream it.
I don't even know which one you're talking. There's so many Spider-Man.
You thought Andy Garfield or whatever his name is.
Andrew Garfield, I think.
Andy's a nickname, right?
That was just the last one. I feel like there's a new Spider-Man every 6 months. So
the Tobey Maguire one was, it was okay. It got progressively worse.
The Nickelback song on it. Ugh, I hate Nickelback.
What? I just can't believe somebody at a casting agency or the caster of that is like, yeah, Tobey Maguire totally fits a 17-year-old.
He does.
Totally. If anything, respect to the folks who made this one because the kid does look like he could be in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't look like Andrew Garfield, who, again, looks like he's 20-something years old. What they should have done is just got Michael Cera to play it and just really test his acting ability because his co-host, Jonah Hill, really went off and did all the serious movies. So maybe Michael Cera could
where's that
pull
kid?
it off. He still looks like he belongs in high
dweeby.
school. So, but that movie's coming out. Other movies coming out for this weekend. There's a lot of, no one really wants to compare itself to Spider-Man, so we really don't have too much. A Ghost Story is coming out. We always need a scary movie every week for some reason. Other movies like that, I haven't really wanted to see anything else. Baby Driver, I do kind of want to go see. The Edgar Wright is a really interesting director. He writes and directs all his stuff.
Yeah, Connor said that was good. The Baby Driver.
Yeah, and then actually Connor's been texting me. He totally lied to me about what he's doing. He's clearly available. No, I'm just kidding. Connor. No, but he's saying he's going to check out Transformers, and then he's going to check out Spider-Man. I've been hearing great things about Transformers. So
really? That's surprising to me.
I mean, no, it sounds more of like down my alley.
How many Transformers have they made?
I think there's 5. I think this is the 5th live-action film they made.
I remember the first one.
Do you think Shia LaBeouf will ever come back?
Nah.
I wonder why. Like, and it's funny.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good when he was in it. So, and he always had a different girl. I mean, if I was Shia, I'd be like, yeah, just put me in every movie. Just give me a different girl every time. I'd be totally down for that.
That was before Shia LaBeouf kind of went off the deep end.
He's not off the deep end.
Oh, he's really
not. Yeah, he definitely has. Y'all
he's his own entity. He's his own entity.
He's artsy now.
So, what was funny is when he was doing that campaign, "He Will Not Divide Us" thing. Like, look that up. I thought it was going to be like a PR campaign for a movie. I was waiting for it. I was like, what is this all about? And it never came out to anything. It was actually legit. He wanted to talk about it, which is great. But I want to say, Holly, thanks for hanging out with me.
I'm happy to be your last resort host.
My last resort. I appreciate it. Get out and watch more movies. I know movies coming out. Like Spider-Man's going to be really cool.
I know Dunkirk.
That's not next weekend though. So that's going to be. I think they actually just released. They're going to put the 70mm IMAX full version in like 120 theaters or something like that.
I'd definitely watch that.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, that would be a cool thing to go see. That movie's actually his shortest movie.
Really?
Yeah, because he usually makes
I don't
3
think
hour
there's
movies.
much dialogue in that movie. Because, I mean, all the trailers, there's no dialogue. It's just planes flying over and everyone just dying. It's kind of
Well, I mean,
morbid.
I think
Sounds like fun.
Well, so I think certain directors can really sell a story without any dialogue. I mean, I don't know if you all ever seen There Will Be Blood, but I think the opening like 25 minutes of that movie, there's not there's like moaning, but it's not. I don't think there's actual.
When I go and like
dialogue.
flip through movies to pick out if that's the name of the movie, I'm probably not going to pick
There
it.
Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
You never seen that movie?
No.
Well,
Great. Here we go. That's what I'm watching this week.
probably one of my favorite movies.
That's what that means.
It took me a while to really like that movie too. The first time I see it, I was
no.
like, well, let me see this again. And even though there's nothing really, things that are different every time you watch it, but there are. It's really strange. It's a great movie. But yeah. So are you going to see any movies this week with me?
Yeah.
What movies are we going to see this week?
Well, you always let me have a choice, but usually you end up picking.
That's good because I do give you a
He's
choice.
like, I'm not watching this, you know. So we'll see.
Well, it's not fair.
We should watch like The Fault in Our Stars or whatever.
I'm totally down for that.
You are?
I'm totally
After
down.
me before you. That's next level.
The Fault in My Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Our Stars.
I think that's
It's a
what
book
called.
too, right? That was a book, yeah.
And let me guess, it's all female, it's all that stuff, and then it's like,
Yeah, she's dying.
oh no, see, I told you, Chick-fil-A, someone's got to be going.
Yeah.
That's the only way to pull the heartstrings.
It's got to be just going out the door.
And it's either by choice or not. When it's by choice, it's a stupid movie.
Do you even know what that movie's about?
I've heard of it because it has the guy from Baby Driver. That's the only reason I've heard of it, because the main actor from Baby Driver, it was the guy. And I was like, man, he plays like the leading role in a chick flick? That's kind of strange.
I think that's where he got to start, and then he moved towards the action movies.
Okay.
I'm reading a description about it. It's
Uh-oh.
the funny, thrilling, and tragic business of being alive and in love. Spoiler, she's
You know what we
dying.
need to see? I wanted to see that sci-fi movie where she gets pregnant on Earth and he's from Mars.
Oh, and he can't like handle
And
gravity
it's
or something.
Yeah,
and
because
makes him sick.
I was reading something from Neil
Ridiculous.
deGrasse Tyson or Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever that guy's name is, and they're talking about the scientific perspective of that movie if it was real, and apparently some of it's like true. So if you're born on Mars, like the gravity pull is a little different. So if your body's developing, your whole upbringing, man. See, we'll see that movie too. I bet that movie's really great and totally true. Well, if they made a movie about us, what would it be? What would it be?
I don't know. What do you think?
I would like to be John McClane. Can we pick like who we want to be? John McClane
No,
would be
like
pretty
our
cool.
story.
Oh, it'd be really boring.
Aw.
It would be a
I think
Beatles
it'd
song,
be exciting.
and I saw her. That would be the theme song.
The what?
Never mind, I'll play it.
Oh no, I want to hear it.
We'll play it later. We're gonna be closing up the show.
He's scared
We
he's
gotta
getting
get
in
on it.
trouble.
So, yeah. Well, hey, that means AKA board band. Let's take us out. Thanks for
Like,
checking
get me out of here!
Yeah.
Get me out of here!
Thanks for checking out the Ticket Stub. We're here every Thursday at noon o'clock. Connor will be back next week with me. Holly, thank you so much for being here. Jaden, again, thanks for being the stick man. If you want to reach out to us, we have the Ticket Stub Podcast at gmail.com. We're on Facebook. Thanks for writing in. It's kind of hard to do everything by themselves, so I apologize if I didn't get to comment on you guys. We always feel free to talk about what movies you've seen, what movies we should check out. Again, what I suggest you to check out this week would be Spawn. It's a great, cheesy early comic book movie, and I think it came out the same year as Space Jam, and so that thing, it kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. Get out and watch movies. Excited to see you next Thursday. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Ticket Stub. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at The Ticket Stub Podcast, our YouTube channel, The Ticket Stub, or send us listener email to theticketstubpodcast at gmail.com. We also have all of our podcasts available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you're in the Conroe area, be sure to tune in live every Thursday at 104.5 and 106.1 FM to hear it as it happens and interact live with the show. See you next time.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.